Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is our broadcast we can do regarding campaign. But that doesn't mean that we cannot broadcast to you on this channel still regarding events happening around Nigeria. Political developments, as you know it, but we cannot campaign after tonight. So tonight is going to represent a big fundraising night. And it's going to represent, our last statements on what has been the situation in the last 1 year. We started in February 2018. Yes, we started small, very small, at a town hall meeting down the street from where we are tonight. And it's February 2019, and we have become really, really big. Can you hear me, guys? Yeah?
Yes.
We started being told we're inconsequential. We started being mocked, derided. We started being told we can't last 2 weeks. We started being told that politics is not meant for starters or, greenhorns. We started being told that we have no experience. We started being told that we have no money. We started being told that we cannot go beyond certain parts of Nigeria. We started being told that we are only based on the internet. And as of today, we have broken all the records. We have broken records in the area of raising the least amount of money but making the most impact. We've broken the record of traveling the most of all the candidates. In fact, we traveled around the world and around Nigeria more than all the candidates combined together in this particular election. There are 71 or so presidential candidates. We traveled more than all of them combined together. And we dared everywhere. We went to places that people dreaded. We went to palaces of traditional rulers. We went to schools. We went to markets. We went to mosques. We traveled to, where did we went to the shrine. Yes, we went to the hometown of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and traveled there. We arrived there in the night. We traveled by air, by land. We traveled on bikes, bicycles. We traveled on boats, canoes. We traveled far and wide.
Even train.
Yes, we traveled by train. That's true. Yes.
Traveled by water too.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, you didn't come with us, so.
I was at one.
Yes, and we saw old people, we saw young people, we met with workers, we met with unemployed, we met with security operative, teachers, nurses, doctors.
Pastors.
Yeah, we met with pastors, yes, including those ones that were receiving, messages from God, and the ones that were receiving messages from themselves and claiming they were doing so on behalf of God. I don't want to go there before I get into trouble. But it's been an amazing 1 year experience that has totally changed Nigeria's political landscape. When we started, we were saying I want to disrupt the political space. I think it took shorter than we thought before the space was disrupted. Because by the time we met the Minister of Miscommunication, we had disrupted the political space. We disrupted traditional spaces. We rewrote rules regarding conduct in public places. We defined our own terms. We did everything on our own terms. I was told that we probably had the highest number of interviews on radio, probably TV, of all the candidates. Even though, yes.
You become a prototype.
Yes. So we did everything, but this would not have been possible without you guys. Without you guys who are watching now, guys who are in this room, guys who are all over the place. We have been bragging that we raised money, but when we look at it, we actually didn't raise as much money as was spent on our behalf. Yes. A lot of people didn't contact us. They just dishing out money to people that they organize themselves. People spend money on their own without telling us. It's just like on their streets, in their villages. And each time you make a phone call, actually you're spending money. Yeah, you're spending your own money when you call somebody and say, you know, have you heard about Sowore? That guy, vote for him. That's money. So there's no way we can aggregate how much we spend on this campaign. No way.
Thank you, Bob.
And we were up against people who had money, who had influence, who claimed they had structures. But all those things in the face of how we were moving melted upon our approach. And we want to thank everybody. I don't know how to even thank people, but I just have to thank you guys all. I want to thank Nigerians all over the world for making this a possibility. You know, I had my own dreams of becoming, you know, creating a whole habit to bring about a country that is habitable for everybody, you know. And I know a lot of people had dreams of a Nigeria that's working for everybody. And when you find a point where a meeting point or a melting point for all great dreams, you can't do but feel very good about yourself, you know. And that sometimes I look back and I'm making this confession today and I'm wondering, how did we get this far, you know, like with nothing? And I'm sure some of you wonder, like,
Yes.
why is it that people just on their own love us, you know? We had an experience today where we went through hot spots in Lagos. When we mean hot spots, places that are prone to crime and area boys influence. And we get to them, they will surround us and they're going to start a fight. And somebody will say to them, these ones are different too. They don't give, one, if you follow them from now till morning, you are not going to get money from them. And secondly, they have a different brand of political philosophy that is different from what we are used to. And on their own, they will just step back. So another very important thing to say, very important to say tonight is that we did a whole year of campaigning, politicking in a highly volatile society. And we didn't suffer the kind of injury that goes with politicking on the scale that we did it. Just in one day in Rivers State, 14 people died for Buhari. They died in a stampede. Nobody died on our side. Of course, there was tragedy in Delta State, you know, but it was an accident that came from a traveling vehicle occasioned by bad roads. But in terms of like violence, physical violence, nobody was. The only time we had anything close to that was injury we suffered in Oshodi when some people attacked us, and we quickly recovered from that and we went back on the road. So that is also a major feat for us, that you ran a whole year of politics in Nigeria. Nigeria is probably one of the most dangerous places to engage in politics. And we survived it up to tonight, you know, and I'm sure that in the next 48 hours, you all will stay safe. So that's another plus to us. I don't know, is there anything I'm missing in the house? People can...
Just appreciate them for giving us opportunity to speak.
Yeah, appreciate you guys for the opportunity. That's very important. Even the privilege
For us to spend.
granted us to represent you, to speak on your behalf, to speak truth to power with your own energy and stamina. That is a rare privilege granted to people in Nigeria. But the biggest or the bigger privilege is that people in Nigeria, for the first time, actually spend their own money on us. They say, you know, you're speaking for me, we believe in you, and they give you money, as opposed to you giving them money.
Yes.
That's unheard of as well. So, guys, I don't know, we want to do this round of applause. Just
Take it! AAC! Take it back!
Thank you guys so much. I don't know if we got our accounting people to do work tonight. Otherwise, we'll give you the outcome of how much we raised. But the fundraiser hasn't stopped yet, so you know. We will continue so that we can cover all of our costs. But and we know that a lot of people are actually raising, they're still sending money. I was looking at GoFundMe a while ago, people are still sending money, they're still pushing in money, they're watching them. Okay, so I have a GoFundMe summary here. And the last one was $50 for Susan Clark. Thank you, Susan. There was $100 from Stephen Falasino. With Sowore as our president, 8% of Nigeria will come back home to make it a true country, including myself. Please vote for Sowore if you want to see a prosperous and great Nigeria. Thank you. Wow, so it's a lot of. There was $100. Stephen. There's a $50 from Harry and Double. There is a $200 from Modupe Adewale. I believe in your vision and the Lord help us all. $50 from Esther Ogunjimi. Wishing this movement good luck. Whatever happens on 2/16/2019 will remain significant in the history of Nigeria. You must take over the reign of Nigeria now.
Take it back.
Action. There's a $20 from Emmanuel Iria to presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore of AAC. Share your vision and your conviction to rescue Nigeria from its enemies. And that's why I contributed since the year 1986. I applaud your courage and integrity, especially in your action during the Occupy Nigeria meeting in New York in 2012. Thank you, guys. This is a $50 contribution from Etoro John. You will win. Please, I would like to ask you 2 major questions if possible. This thing affects us living in here in the UK. I can't wait for you to win because I don't mind coming back to seek and work in Nigeria. Please, my number is so number, Toro John. He wants to talk to us. $40 from Ibrahim Egbejobi. $30 from Yalex Ewere. Yalex. Say happy Valentine's Day, Mr. President to be. Revolution Now, TIB, AAC Party, hashtag vote number 3 party, hashtag the winning party.
Yeah, that's right.
Alex Ewere, thank you so much. $100 from Gabriel Agbontai. Says, I want to see Nigeria that we all can be proud of, including the generation to come, and I strongly believe Omoyele Sowore share the same dream, and that shall surely come to pass by the grace of our Heavenly Father, Yahweh. $25 from Emmanuel Olaya. I'm Emmanuel from Sacramento, California. I want a new Nigeria. Omoyele Sowore is a man who fights for justice for the oppressed. He helps to fight corruption and helps to liberate the Nigerian people. AAC.
Take it back.
It's $200 from Francis Badejoko. Sowore can make it. Thank you, sir. There is a $200 from Felix Odusaga. It says, Sowore's vision for Nigeria aligns with my vision. As a visionary leader, I continue to focus on taking Nigeria to the promised land, as Moses did for you and Moses of our time. May Almighty God continue to protect and grant you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to take it back and govern peacefully in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Finally, remember the common Nigerian people that support you when you are in Aso Rock. Happy birthday, President Omoyele Sowore. Thank you so much. Yes. $50 from Imole Ayo Akinlade. I donated because I want a Nigeria that works for everyone who is a Nigerian, also to build a better future for our children. Wow. These donors they're solid. They're making a comment. Recently, one person donated $20, and that's from Mercy Ekin. Mercy, thank you so much. Recently, 3 people contributed $470. $220 from Elizabeth Ayodele, $50 from Theophilus Oniyide, and $200 from Adeola Makinde. I believe God will strengthen you and He will give you victory. Amen. I brought the total. Yes. It said, this is what Elizabeth wrote. I brought the total to $155,777. And like 777 airplane, AAC is soaring. That's it. This is $100 from Larry Olabode. You know, the man who gave us the megaphones.
Yes.
Your megaphones are really giving oppressors sleepless nights over here. Mr. Larry. Omoyele Sowore from New York, who sent you the megaphones. It's that time. AC for life. I'm looking forward to coming home for your inauguration. Yes. Thank you.
AC! Take it back. Take it back. Action.
$20 from Obianuju Ogbokiri. Obianuju. You remember Obianuju that Duncan Magic sang about?
Yeah, that's the girl.
$50 from Hannah Ojediro and $10 from Iyabode Akinroko. $100 from Antoine Aimofua. $50 from Adetayo Bero. Sowore is the future we desire. You promised to disrupt the political space and you have done so exceedingly. We are proud of you. I started believing in you when you came to the town hall meeting in Dallas. Keep the fight on. I have 50 people voting for you already. Take it back.
Action.
There's a $50 from Alero Jackson. There's a $5 from Olisebuka Obioha. I've been involved in grassroots organization financially with my very little stipend, but I'm just putting out a strong signal about the way forward for abundance of doubt. And another $50 from Ayo Awolalu. Another $20 from Kolowo Joshua. $250 from Bolale Oyabayo. $100 from Frank Okiria. $200 from Alexi Njoku, a friend from Florida. He's also Dr. Damage's friend, Alexi. You're out?
Yes.
All right, make sure you vote.
Maybe I should do this.
Yes, where is he?
I'll bring it.
Okay, if you can.
See you.
Kolade Abolarinwa donated $500. All right, guys, so that's as far back as we can go. Oh, no, there's $86 from Elizabeth Oyarebu and $200 from Motunrayo Adebayo. I think we mentioned those yesterday. So if you get any donations fresh, we will announce those. Let me go to Zenith Bank and see how we are doing there. Because yes, there's a Morigbe Bernard Nosakari donating 30,000 naira. And there's 10,000 from Paul Apaka de Agedo. There's 500 naira from Ufoma Jonathan Umukoro. There's 100,000 naira from Odupe Niola Adewale. There's a 30,000 naira from Olushola Olajumoke. There is a 5,000 naira from Jessica Yadili Larson. It's the word remit here for 5,000 naira 5,027 naira 93 kobo. Imagine that person didn't send in there. Yes, that's what happened when you send money from abroad. They break it down to the last. There is a 20,000 naira from Victor Ewumi Victor Olutoyosi. There is a 20,000 naira from John Itoro Christian. There's 1,000 naira from Cynthia Abiebode. There's a 20,000 naira from Stephen Tunde Orimoloye. There's a 40,000 naira from 40,189 naira. It says, oh, this one is that's incorrect. Something we paid for, so I'm looking for credit here. Olasode Oluyomi gave us 10,000 naira. This a 1,000 naira from Afogeowa Nathaniel Okoje. There's a 5,000 naira from FCMB. I think this was a deposit into an ATM. There is a 19,000 naira from Abudu Oyopoye, Amike, and Faith. This looks like husband and wife. Round of applause. There is a 10,000 naira from Okuta Joshua Shika. There's a 10,000 naira from Daramola Itunu, God's Power. There is a 30,000 naira from Osage David Imoigbagmo. There is a 20,000 naira from Mayowa Tokumbo. There's a 5,000 naira from, it says the mobile transfer, FCMB, no name. There's a 18,304 naira from Fordren Logistics. It's come from one of our brothers using Money Union transfer services. Talabi Adeyinka Nathaniel, 40,000 naira. Okay, Mobolaji Sholabomi, 5,000 naira. Joshua Okena Agomo, 10,000 naira. Oluyide Esther Afion, 5,000 naira. Adebayo Tony Showumi, 10,000 naira. Bankole Labi, 20,000 naira. Holloway Olubukola Gbemishola, 35,000 naira. Olawale Akoni Olarewaju, 5,000 naira. Rachel Omorowa Sazua, 17,000 naira, 661 naira, 25 kobo. Omolabi Rebecca Fumilayo, 20,000 naira. There's 7,000 from Olusegun Oyesonya. And there is there's a Victor Samuel Eniola for 1,000 naira. Soyibo Adenuga Alaba for 10,000 naira. Victor Samuel Eniola for 1,000 naira. Obaze David for 2,000 naira. 10,000 naira that comes from, it says other banks. Maybe that's also an ATM deposit. Babalola Oluwasegun Gabriel, 5,000 naira. Baba Timile Anu Oluwapo, 5,000 naira. Osage de Newton Osage, 20,000 naira. Tokumbo Valerina Olorunfemi, 30,000 naira. Alabika Yode Emmanuel, 5,000 naira. Usari Idris Adeyinka, 1,000 naira. Jabejo Sahid, 10,000 naira. Aderobi Ademola, 5,000 naira. Olaosebekon Olukumi, 20,000 naira. Miwa Adewumi, 30,000 naira. Malik Kebidu, 5,000 naira. Ashilolo Fidelis, 1,500 naira. Akulefu Stephen, 1,000 naira. There's a 17,000 naira, 583 naira, 55 kobo. When you see them, you know it came from money transfer. Adetunji Julius Kunle, 1,000 naira. Shonde Adeniyi, 2,000 naira. So that's Jude Imagodo, 20,000 naira. Very good. So I think some donation came in while we're scrolling up. Let me announce that very quickly and ask if there are questions for me. There's Olani Olalemi donated 10,000 naira just now. Do they have any questions for me?
No, not yet.
Not yet? And same thing for Facebook, no questions?
But we're 3.1k views.
3.1k views.
Take it back.
Take it back.
Action.
Action.
No going back.
3.1k views, that's huge. Guys, I don't even know how to thank you guys. Is anybody in the house who's got questions for us? I know you guys are all wiped, tired. It's been a long, long day, and we've all been out. Some people were out since 7 a.m., some 6 a.m. How early were you out? You have a question?
Yes.
All right. Before you go to that, let's thank the security agencies that came out today. We usually don't have this kind of relationship with them. It's usually like a hostile relationship. We found out that they too want to see Nigeria change, and we had great support from the DSS and the police. So the Nigerian police unit, I think there was a particular deputy commissioner of police who was very helpful. I don't know his name. I don't think he wants his name mentioned. But he kept providing more security to the flashpoints as we were passing by. So let's give them a round of applause. Same thing to the DSS guys who acted very professionally. You could almost think they're not with us, but they were pretty close monitoring that nothing terrible happened. This is what the big party APC couldn't do in Lagos. The only rally they did in Lagos, people got stabbed. Subsequently, even when they had their smaller rallies, people were getting killed, even though they were covering it up. We had the rally, there was no casualty, nobody was injured, nobody even scratched. Yeah. So, of course, we came across our friends, the area boys, but the moment they saw us, these ones are pretty different. So
there's a question of voter education. Are we going to vote with our thumb?
you can vote with any finger, honestly. That's what INEC said today. But it's better to use the index, because then you don't want to tend to, and if you can use your middle finger, that's even better. You know what the middle finger represents now. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. You can use any finger you want. What else?
Mr. President, have you been in touch with other candidates from other states who are running for the office of governors, House of Representatives, and councillorship?
We have been in touch. In fact, today at the rally, we introduced all the candidates in Lagos. One of the things we do when we travel to other states is to meet the candidates of the other parties. We did in Rivers, we did in Delta, Oyo, Onogun, in Edo State, in Ondo. Yeah. The only place where we didn't meet a candidate was in Jigawa too. Was in Fatima is in Jigawa. It was in Adamawa State, and I think Abia too. No, Ben. We met Ben.
We met candidates in Adamawa.
We met candidates, but we didn't meet the governor.
Yeah.
Also in Abia. Apparently, the Abia guy was working for Buhari, because he was the one who went and declared for Buhari when they were holding the youth summit. So they didn't come out. Those are the only places. We didn't meet the governorship candidate of Adamawa because they said they told him and he didn't show up. I don't know what happened. What we heard is that he's working for Atiku. So we can't. We're just being open and transparent about this. But otherwise, we met all the candidates and we're in touch with them. And don't forget, we had the great outing in Enugu, where Dr. Chidi, yes, our powerful Dr. Chidi Wanyan was running for governor. So if you're watching me tonight, you are not only voting for a presidential candidate, you're also voting for members of the House of Rep and Senate on February 16th, and then on March 2nd, you vote for governorship candidates, House of Rep. No, House of Assembly members. And we will contest every election contestable until we become the most popular party in Nigeria. We're getting there already. Yes.
Mr. President, please, I want to ask, if the AAC wins the election, will you let the campers from other parties, such as the APC and PDP?
No, we're not going to be playing the politics of the campaign now. If we win with people who are with us now, not opportunists. But it will be a party that's open to all, but it won't be a party where people just come from nowhere and then say they want to join us simply because they think we are successful. No.
What are your plans to address the issue of sexual harassment and rape?
Very strong law enforcement, and if need be, for new legislation in the country to address those. But I'm aware that there are laws, our laws are pretty strong. But as you know, Nigerian laws are like cobwebs. They can only hold ants, they can't stop an elephant. So we'll make it applicable to all and look at specific areas where those things are particularly rampant and deal with them as a matter of law, and will.
Where will you be giving your victory speech from? Also, will you be allowing supporters to join you at the party's election monitoring center?
Yes, we've had some reporters who have already indicated they'll come to. I'm going to vote in Ondo State, my hometown. When I win, I'll give a speech beside the lake in my village. I love water. You know, it's when I win, I'm going to go for a swim first. So that's the first thing I'll do. And after that, I'll assemble everybody beside the lake. And at that time, everybody will be heading to our village. Everybody. From all over the world, you know. Helicopters will be dropping, parachutes. Even Buhari will come. Atiku will come. So yes, absolutely. And because this is very important, and we're talking to our people, and there are 3,000 people viewing, you said, right?
Yes.
Yes. It's very, very important. Some of you don't think this is possible, but we know it is possible. Because there are a lot of people who are watching tonight, right? And they understand the power of, the innate will to decide what is right and to do what is right. Nobody's holding you. Nobody's holding you from voting against Buhari and Atiku. Nobody. Not their money, not their lives. This is one time, and I know it, that majority can take a decision and shock a minority who are overconfident and arrogant and cocky. They'll be shocked. And that's what we're going to see happen. As I said, we're not the only ones who feel this way. We've seen policemen, seen, security agents, market women, people in the middle class. When we were driving across Lagos today, people were there was a guy who said, if I don't vote for you, make I die. I say you will live. Because we are here to help you live and live a better life. So a lot of people are out there who have made up their mind to do the right thing. And those of you who haven't, please do right now. Yes. And we're just so close to victory for everybody. There's nothing that can be greater than this victory. A defeat of the old order and the restoration or the installation of the new order that will take Nigeria to the highest level. Not the next level, as I like to say, because the next level is a fraud. Yes. Yeah. Any more questions?
When we take back Nigeria, what are your plans to implement tax reforms in the country?
Tax reforms?
Reforms.
You have to collect taxes first before you can refund them. You have to get all these employers who are deducting money and not paying taxes. What we'll do is there will be a bracket of people who will completely be refunded with their taxes as soon as they reconciliation is done, and those are people who are collecting our minimum wage of 100,000 naira. Whatever taxes are deducted from you, you'll be refunded to you at the end of the year. Yes, we're still looking, but that's that's the starting point.
Mr. President, please, what will you do on the issue of jungle justice?
Oh my goodness. Jungle justice is a crime against humanity. It happens as a result of security flaws, and anybody involved in jungle justice will be prosecuted according to the law. I mean, law is law, and law is there, but it's also, you know, a way we breathe life into law. If all the leaders said no to something, then law becomes very, very vibrant as well. And that's the way I see jungle justice in the country. I cannot forget those students who were killed, I think it was in Port Harcourt years ago. Yeah, who were lynched over the allegation that they stole laptop, and how people just watch them get wasted, you know. It's something that touches my heart, and something we will do, we'll take very seriously. Is there any question from YouTube?
Yes. Hello, Mr. President. What are you going to do in regards to small-scale businesses who employ workers and are not able to pay 100K? What support are they receiving from your government?
There are a bunch of economic policies that we have in place that is primarily aimed at boosting small businesses. But why do small businesses have difficulties in paying workers? It's because in most cases they are not even able to borrow from the banks at interest rates that makes it possible for businesses to be sustainable for them. And this question was actually, I think this allegation was thrown against Kingsley Moghalu when we had a debate, the people's debate. Donald Duke told them, he said, you are the person in charge of fiscal policy, and that was maintaining 30% of interest rates. Interest rate is one of those economic policies that we must ensure that we monitor. 30% interest rates is an interest rate that makes it impossible for anybody to survive as a business. But a lot of our policies, you know, in the area of provision of electricity, infrastructure, actually favors business and small SMEs, as they call it, small and medium enterprises. But the most favorable policy towards small businesses is actually the minimum wage. That minimum wage, the moment you pay it, workers are going to come to small businesses to transact business, and it will also lead to savings, and it will lead to, you know, like our policy on mortgage, where you can get $2 million naira, build a house. Who are the people who are going to help you build the houses? Small business, small and medium enterprises. So all our policies are geared towards helping small businesses. If you are making shoes in Aba, and the worker can buy two from you, you're a small business, right? You're not a huge company. And the moment you make more money from, you know, these organizations, you can grow your company. And when the company is making profit, you can pay workers no matter, you know, what they request. I have said it, and I'm not saying it just so that to brag. One of the things I did first when we were running, before I ran for office at all, when I came to Nigeria to set up Sahara Reporters, was to try the minimum wage that we promised to pay workers. And we did it, discovered that it's not even enough. And most of the guys who are working with us are people who are not married. I'm not saying that we hire people who are not married. We hire them so that they can get married. And I hope they do so. Valentine's Day. But honestly, you discover that 100,000 naira is not enough. It's not enough to sustain anybody. Before the end of the month, the guys are complaining that, look, I'm broke. So we should not even be having this argument at all about, and I know that I've rambled away from the question of, small businesses and how they can pay. I'm just saying, when small businesses are doing business and they're making profits, they can afford to pay their workers 100,000. 100,000 naira is nothing if you are not greedy as a small business or an entrepreneur. You have something to say, or you want to share with me? Thank you. Okay, so this is something coming from one of our tech people. Said global companies are looking at Africa for their next billions. Without intervention, Nigeria will miss out again. Companies need sustainable infrastructure. This is so true. This is so true. There's no company who is coming to invest in your country based on your propaganda. Before they even come to your country, I've already Googled you, they read about you. If you don't have electricity, nobody's coming to invest in your country. That's what I told them at the debate we did, where they're saying, oh, economic philosophy. There's no economic philosophy that will bring investors to your country if you don't have electricity. Those are basic things. Electricity, infrastructure. If you like, you can design all the acronyms in the world. They have done it before. Need, seeds, SAB, South Africa Drive, Nothing will come your way if you don't have those basic things in place. Particularly energy, electricity. Forget it. Thank you so much, sir, for that. Everybody wants to come here, If we open up Nigeria today and we have a new leader, Nigeria will open for business. Do you know that the U.S. companies come and process tickets in Ghana? Tickets, the one that they give people when they commit traffic offenses. Because they don't have people who can do it, and it's cheaper to do here. How do you think that India, what's the country next to India? Not Pakistan. Bangladesh. All of them became economic giants on the back of having infrastructure that can allow companies to come into their countries, set up their own machinery, they set up their own factories, plants, and then they employ workers. Same thing for South Africa. The big vehicle that used to be made before, the gas guzzling Hummer vehicle, they were made out of South Africa. Most of mid-range best jets today are made out of Brazil. Nigeria and Brazil started at the same time. In fact, every country that started with Nigeria has surpassed Nigeria. Every country that started behind Nigeria has surpassed. Nigeria is like a country that engaged in a race and was given the advantage to go to the front. And others started running after Nigeria. Even 10 meters to finish line, Nigeria still did not finish. Everybody came and finished before Nigeria. And it is the result of the kind of terrible leadership you have today. The 72-year-old criminals and invalids that are running the country, the cabals running the country. So that's what we have, guys, for you. Are there more questions? Or do you want me, let me just go and read some donations that just came in. Yeah, there's a Luka Ololade Omotaje for 10,000 naira. Samuel Agomi, 10,000 naira. Do you guys want to pause a bit while I read this out? Alexander Chukwuemeka, 250,000 naira. Wow. Man, that's amazing. Omoyele Messi, Yeke Polo, it's 10,000 naira. The only reason I survived pronouncing some of these names is because I was the son of a teacher. My father had to read, register every class, every morning. There's Joshua Ulua Dunsi for 7,000 naira. Abdulkarim Musa Alabi, 2,000 naira. Funsho Fatai Sogbe Song, 10,000 naira. Word remit for 10,000 naira. Somebody is playing tricks in the house again. I didn't Jolua Tosin, Jolua Sheon, 222 naira. This is not, it's 200, it's 200, 222, and then 22 come up. Just clap for how, man. There's a 500 naira from Uwigwe Bridget, thank you. Uluyemi Ikumawoyi, 5,000 naira. 10,000 naira from Olalemi. Thank you guys. Do we have any questions?
Nigeria is very dirty. How are you going to control waste?
Oh man, I'm here to clean it up. That's what I'm here to do. And I mean it. It's that's why you cannot vote for people who are using brooms, because brooms don't clean very well anymore. We are coming with vacuum cleaner, industrial scale vacuum cleaner. So many of these things that you call dirty is, you know, yeah, you mentioned recycling. We don't do a lot of recycling here. If at all we do, we don't have dump sites for dirt. But technology has proven that there's no dirt anymore. Dirt, you know, the business of dirt has become business of energy. Yes, now. So every dirty thing you see all over the world can be converted to energy. Plastic can be used to build houses. You know, even our waste can be used to generate electricity. You know, so fertilizer, everything that is dirt can be converted to money and wealth. So there's no dirty thing anymore anywhere, but dirty leaders can do crap. Sorry about that. So just so that you know that there's a lot of opportunity in even the waste that we have in Nigeria today, especially bio waste. You're trying to send me some write-up? Thank you. Just for you. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go to, I've not seen anything from, any other question?
What do you think about commodities price control?
I don't think that we need to institute price controls. But of course, we need to have regulations that do not allow for what they call price gouging. You know, price gouging is when people deliberately take advantage of customers, you know, maybe as a result of maybe huge demand for something, and you just sit down in your house and you just increase. That's a crime, actually. It's a federal crime in the US. People go to jail for, I don't know if you guys heard about a guy who bought into an HIV drug company in the US. I don't remember his name now. He was arrested, and I think he's going to go to jail. He increased the price of life-saving drugs from, I think, maybe $50 to $700. And they went after him. You don't play with the life of people. You don't allow, you know, business people to price gouge. It's one of the things we do with telecom companies in particular. They just take advantage of users, consumers in this town, and regulation, a government that is actually out to work will make sure that they're regulated. Let me announce very quickly that Chikreli, yes, thank you. Thank you, that's his name. That there is an ongoing interview with people from the diaspora. It was done by Sahara TV. So if you're YouTube, watch them. I had this very, very emotional, very powerful interview that Sahara TV did with our TIB supporters who dropped into the country for this election. A lot of them are in town. So many of them couldn't make it to the interview, but do watch it, check it out, and if you have the URL, please send it out. How many people are watching still?
3.9.
What? This keeps growing. Okay, should we then go? Should we then go to 4,000 then before we... You have a question? I don't want to ignore you. Go ahead. Read it.
Yeah, so I've listened to you on several fora when you talk about your plans on moving the country forward.
Yes.
But most times you leave out the petroleum sector.
Yes.
And as it is at the moment, that sector generates over 50% of our foreign exchange.
Okay.
So I don't know how do you intend, because it's the corruption in the sector is huge, enormous. Before Buhari came to power, they referred to the NPC as the pool of corruption.
Yes.
And after he got there, he was able to do anything to resolve the issues. The PIB bill has been in the Senate for more than 8 years.
National Assembly.
National Assembly. Before, even during Obasanjo's time.
Yeah.
So when I learned that we are losing several billions of dollars, over $200 billion every year. Because several investors, they either divert their funds to other countries, Angola and the likes.
Yeah.
Also have oil. So what I
Angola, Ghana. Yeah. So yeah.
4K.
Oh wow, 4K, man. 4K.
We're taking it back.
Taking it back. Thank you so much. I think recently we had a tweet chat specific to oil and gas, and we outlined what we intend to do. The oil and gas sector in Nigeria is a criminal, space, and it boils down to even how we carried out our exports. We don't even have like metering. We don't kind of calibrate what is exported. The oil companies just come, they bring in boats, barges, they take whatever they want, and they give some little money to our guys on this end. We are going to clean up the oil and gas sector so that whatever should accrue to Nigeria will go to. We are losing over $60 billion. Quote me, $60 billion every year as a result of mismanagement, waste, connivance, complicity, and outright criminal action by people at the NNPC. So we will overhaul completely and put new people there. It is not true that the NNPC cannot be a profitable business. It's actually every other country in the world relying on their own oil and gas company, state-owned, to make profit. They're doing that in Saudi Arabia, in Angola, except in Nigeria. And we know why. People who are put in charge of these sectors in Nigeria criminally scheming. You know what the Ziani did with Kola Loco and what's the guy from Kogi State again? The one that bought about 3 jets in 1 year. I forgot his name now. So, except you have a leader who understands how these things work and has a political will. Don't forget that President Buhari is the oil minister of Nigeria. So he's directly liable for the corruption that's going on there. But you know what the president did? He went and met his chief of staff, a member of the NSC board, Abakari. They put all their people there to be in charge. And what are they doing? They're continuing the same rot that's kept NNPC the way it is. Again, it has structural issues. It has issues of corruption. But generally, it has governance issues. And until we address those issues, we have no chance of making any profits from NNPC. If NNPC is so bad, why is the whole world excited that Atiku wants to sell NNPC? Who would have been willing to buy NNPC if he's losing money as much as they claim? They've always claimed that NNPC is a bad business, but everybody's interested in selling a bad business. And everybody's interested in buying. You must know that there's something good about NNPC if Atiku wants to sell it, and he wants to sell it to his friends.
And we are not his friends.
And we are not his friends. Nigerians are not his friends. So that's what I have to say regarding that. Yes. You have any question in house? Oh my God, you guys been having questions on this one?
No. It's actually coming from because most of it, and I always talking about the Bet Naija syndrome.
You do bet.
A lot of our companies are doing Bet Naija, but we don't talk about it. So what are we doing? Because over time you understand that even sports is now like an investment. What are we going to do about sports?
No, sports is different from betting. Betting is a different kind of sport. I have to tell you. But I will answer it directly. With regards to betting, the way to do it is to actually tax it. You can actually be making a lot of revenue from betting. And right now, betting in Nigeria attracts 0 taxes.
Wow.
Yes. So that's why you have the Baba Jebus of this world making billions, because they are not paying taxes. We have to regulate and tax that sector. It's different from sports, as in, investment in sports. Nigeria has proven that one area where it can do well is in sports. You have 200 million people. Even if you can get 1 million of them to be consciously involved in sports, it's good for a lot of things. It's good for lifestyle, health. It's good for revenue as well. Imagine that Nigeria from the Niger Delta can be winning Olympic golds in swimming, and our guys in the north, Boko Haram people, can be running like the Maasais are doing in Kenya, winning all the marathons around the world. And people who have other skills can, we have people who know how to play soccer from all over the country. But the problem is that we are not investing in sports, even as we used to do before. When I was younger, we used to have inter-house sports. We used to have zonal soccer games. So they still play them, where you have interstate, interlocal government.
Yeah. They do principal cup.
They still do principal cup, but not, not on the scale that they used to be. In Nigeria, we should have, every neighborhood should have like a soccer pitch or playground for children, so that people, and the other thing it does is that when younger people are engaged constructively, they don't get involved in crazy things like gangs, and cultism, and also fraud, because sports is also very rewarding. So we will establish all of that, make sure that there's a whole total investment at the level of just not only physical investment but conscious engagement with people to understand that sports is a big deal, and it could be a major revenue. And I can imagine how much Brazil makes every year from people playing soccer outside the country. Apart from the positive image it brings onto the country, brings foreign forex a lot, and investment is too. Yeah. Yes, you have a question. You have it. Let's listen to a female.
All right, so my question is about female participation in politics. Due to gender stereotyping, societal, norms, values, especially in Africa and in Nigeria, a lot of women don't participate in politics, and even if they do, they participate on the sidelines as cheerleaders, women leaders, which I feel is derogatory, by the way.
Yeah.
And all those other things. So what are your plans to consciously integrate women or help women participate more actively
in politics? Yeah. I think one of the things our party did in this last election was to give a lot of discount to female contestants on the platform of the party. I agree with you totally, and I've told our party leaders that the title or label of women leader is alien to me, because I've never heard us say that this is men's leader. So why do we have? It's just like having a Minister of Women Affairs. What about the women of man affairs? It's like you are discriminating against women and codifying it in your laws or practice and policies. So I agree with you. But I also must say, based on my experience during this last year that women also need to come out en masse and represent. We just can't afford to allow the system to keep them down. Because if they don't do so, nobody's going to help them. Men love to be in charge. It's how men are wired. If you don't challenge them, if you don't come out and say, look, we too deserve a space, a place on the table, you are not going to get it. It's just like what young people are doing now. If we all step back and say, oh, want to respect the elders, we won't be able to be challenging them the way we're challenging them now. So women also have a duty to come out and ask, because a lot of women and a lot of brilliant women, we met them on this trip, Even the older women were very, very clear about what they wanted. As we went in the north, how they were asking about Makaranta for their children, which is school, another name for schools. So, but consciously, we have said that as soon as we win, and this, in my view, will answer a good part of your question, that we will allocate 50 to 50 opportunity to women on the cabinet of Sowore 2019, as soon as we win. When we're selecting our cabinet, 50 will be for men, 50% for, there will be equal representation on the table.
Take it back, action.
But we must also consciously, and this goes to the party, go out there and recruit women to be part of us. Interestingly, AAC probably has the highest number of women contestants. The governorship candidate of Imo is female. Yeah. Governorship candidate of Ogun State is female. We have a House of Rep candidate, that's Fatima. Yeah, we have a House of Assembly rep, Ekanem, right, in Lagos. So we have a lady too. Yes, Kofo Beckley in Ogun State. Who's in Senate? Yes, Abuja. Yes, that's Doris. So we have a lot. We have a lot of female candidates in AAC as well, so that you guys know. And don't say that you didn't hear. Especially those females who are asking to be included. Vote for our candidates. If we can have an Ogun State female president, governor, Imo State, particularly the Beribeism in that place, that woman will come and clean it up. And she's very, very brilliant, and she's very pretty too. This is not a nice thing to say, everybody's pretty, but I'm just saying. Thank you guys for the question. You have?
This question was actually asked when I was on grassroots some time ago, that we've been having this agitation on the salary of the
legislative.
And they go millions of naira and the workers the reasonable minimum wage, and we're talking about 100,000 minimum wage, and the legislators are going on with millions. And how do we? And we are telling them that okay, if the legislators are going on with that kind of amount of money, the president is not the one that decides the salary of the legislator. How are we going to regulate that kind of thing?
It's not the president, but there is a body that decides the salary. And the salary, according to the body, is about ₦1 million, 1.5 million. So what they're doing is allocating to themselves salaries. We can challenge it in court. I, as president of the country, can actually encourage and lead a protest to the National Assembly. I know this has never happened before, but I've done so many things that have never happened before. So these guys are just sucking our treasury dry. It's insane. If you know what they do with constituency projects that don't ever get implemented, and also they have been padding our budgets. The biggest scam they do is budget padding. So I've seen and covered all of this. Let me quickly go to our financial update, because our people want to hear it every day before I come back to one of you itching to ask a question. There are the presidential campaign financial summary update as of February 14. Today is Valentine's Day. How many of you went out to Valentine? Anybody in the house? Everybody say yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Everybody just use the opportunity of the rally, not to go on Valentine. Let's make yeah. All right. So that's a good one. We'll come back. So 10K Nigerians to donate 10K each since 17th of December. So far there are 260 donors. For those that was challenged to donate ₦1 million each, we had so far 3 donors. Yeah. Total amount of donators is fundraising event of February 13th, 2019. Zenith Bank 736,013 naira. GoFundMe 1,285, representing 460,030 naira. So the last since yesterday we've received 1,196,043 naira. Total amount donated since the beginning of the campaign till date. Zenith Bank is 67,197,462.74 kobo. GoFundMe is now at $157,282, representing 56,306,956 naira. So total amount of money we've raised so far in naira is 123,504,418 naira 74 kobo. Some of the donors we've had, we've read some of them. Omolabi Rebecca Fumilayo 20,000. Musari Idris Adeyinka 1,000. Shilolo Fidelis we mentioned 1,500. Bazi David 2,000. We've mentioned most of these guys before. And then GoFundMe, we have Omorua Bolaji $50, Susan Clark $50, Udeme Iyan $100, Stephen Falasino $100, Esther Gunjimi $50. We've mentioned all of these guys. Imole Ayoakinla did $50. Okay. All right, so pretty much that's our financial updates from a financial accounting standpoint. Thank you, guys. I've been told that tonight cannot just end without some fun, and because it's Valentine's Day, all I want to do is have some fun. And I'm not the only one. All right, so is the music person?
Yeah, we have Sentimental in the building.
Sentimental. Before you go, there's a question for me on the floor of the house.
How do you think differentiate the local election, the council election, locally? I think that's the only way we can easily capture our members in terms of getting councillors to represent us in the local assemblies.
Yeah. I mean, already before you even ask this question, in Ondo States, they were supposed to be in December local government elections, and we put in a lot of people already before they postponed it. So we are ready to participate in any election, including class captainship elections.
But there are some states now that they will always waive cancellation and chairmanship election.
Yeah, Lagos State, for instance.
Yeah, so what we also discovered with the local government election is crazy. The state electoral commissions are asking for you to pay to contest. So the party will have to cough out a lot of money to even be able to contest. It costs money. And it's part of the way through which they weed out people who want to run for office at local government level. Let me go to Zenith Bank. I see a lot of, I see some coming in. All right, for Derek, Ose Melu, 10,000 naira. Fabule Elijah Temitokwe, 10,000 naira. There's a word remit for 20,000 naira. And there's still Shokoya Sunday Adegui for 20,000 naira. Makinde Olakunle Ifeoluwa, 5,000 naira. I think I've mentioned Okunle Yemi for 5,000 naira. And then look at Ololade Omotaje, we have to say this again, 10,000 naira. And we cannot forget Alexander Chukwemeka for 250,000 naira. Thank you guys. Where's the DJ?
The artist will be the DJ and the artist this time around.
Oh, so we're gonna have it perform.
Yeah.
It's also Amala Day.
It's hot Amala Day. That was actually a gist. It was a crack of lips. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain now. We're in Akure and we actually wanted to eat. Let me go to the other side. And we drove down to one bukateria. It's a local bukateria, very chanty anyway. And the next thing I actually like, but now the woman that I saw there is not actually looking serious like somebody who actually have anything to sell. So I just unconsciously asked, I said, okay, it's hot Amala Day. And the guy was like, I got waiting to worry you now. So it actually became the gist of the day and we cracked over it. So you go. So they're not the yap me in the house. All the coverage is on the yap business there. Anyway, it's a Valentine's Day and we are in the mood of love. I don't actually want to sing a revolutionary song today. So let's talk about love now. And actually the camera person in front of me happens to be a runaway lover anyway. Take it! Take it! Take it! Maybe I'm taking her back this time around again. And today I want to say a shout out to my baby. He's a year older today. I'm very sorry if you are watching over there, Tiwa Dayo Mayowa. I'm sorry, I'm not home now. The revolution is for you. I'm doing this because of my kids too. That's good. So that they can have a brighter future. Yeah. So, that's good. To the lovers in the house, if you don't have, manage your pillow. Anyway, this is for you. I call this Baby Messiah. So, let's feel it. Yeah. On the ground. Sentimental group. Okay now. So, tell your lover, say, I never thought this could be love. Not to let it suffer sleepless nights. It took my mind to run away. I come the one that I'm out for love. This kind of love, they make me grace. Anytime I see your pretty face, it's going to a decade. I done the wait. I don't wanna wait in the color again. My name is sentimental. Baby, when you come, make we enter. When you come to my arena, you will never see any danger. Baby, Messiah, Kila, you are, Baby, Messiah, hey, Kila, you are. Now say salame. Lady, don't make me lose control. This African lady don't make me lose control. Even love is a crime, I don't like to commit you. When it turns to a river, I go swim across the ocean. Baby, I will never let you go. But to Baba Edele, baby, I will never let you go. Until you spell my name, then I will never let you go. You must feel my brother name. Check it out. All of you can hit that number. Baby Messiah, Ibadila yewa oh nobody that could have a Messiah oh Ibadila yewa oh take only you to the place only lovers go. And now we make your heart take off your pain, wipe off your sorrow. Hey, oh mommy, yeah, 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 oh mommy, yeah. Take it up, yo. Hey, underground sentimental. Hey, see, take it back, Messiah, oh, we don't. Ibadila yewa oh Messiah oh we don't. Ibadila yewa oh let's go there now. Get it now. Got about it there. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Give us one more, okay. Yeah. So, our people don't craze for years. Some people don't smoke people, they say they want hear water. And water and ginger song. Wait. Okay, let me give them water.
So while you're at it, you can make a request of your best Sowore jingles.
No, that's true.
Yeah. I will play.
Please keep sharing, please. What are we having right now? 3.8.
Wow.
Come
We
on.
reached 4,000 now.
We can do better. Please keep sharing, please. Yeah. Okay, you want to hear water? Is it water or original Africa?
Water.
Okay, if you want water, say yeah.
Yeah.
I want water. They want okay now. Without you, okay, now let's go there. Okay. Tó bá fẹ́ láwẹ̀, omi ló máa lò. Everybody, tó bá fẹ́ ṣeré, omi ló máa lò. If you want to buy, now water you go use. If you want to cook, now water you go use. When you don't finish, now water you go use. Nobody living without water. Now water. Everybody else sing down. Yes, nobody living without water. And man no living without water. Baby no fit grow without water. Nobody go live without water. Yeah. Without water, you no go feel. 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 Water na water, oh, mi lo mi je. Water na water, mi lo mi je. Well, water na water, mi lo mi je. Stream water na water, mi lo mi je. Rain water na water. Baby, go to some water. Hey, follow me to Miami. Baby, go to some water. I want to go and get it. And I get it. Okay. Ele bushi badagiri. Wọ́n jáyé etí omi jù. Lẹ́kí ẹ̀pẹ́ èbúté mẹ́ta. Wọ́n jáyé etí omi. Àríkì gádì Ìkòròdú. Wọ́n jáyé etí omi. Without water, you no go fit cook. Without water, you no go fit wash. Without water, you no
know the people without water. You know the people. Nobody living without water. Nobody living without water. But I'm a water. Hey, we don't need that. Tell me what do you do without water? If you try, I'm unless you wonder. Everybody say Omi. Omi, Omi. Everybody know say Omi. Omi, Omi. Omi, Omi, Omi. Omi, Omi, Omi. Omi, Omi. Hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Baby, Omi short out. Hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Baby, Omi short out. Hey, hey, hey. Abeni mamu. Arabe, hey. Nobody believe without water, water no water. Hey, Omi no everybody say yeah, yeah. AC, take it back, action. Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for your love. Yeah.
Thank you. This is some of the people that have driven this campaign with just raw talent. Thank you so much, bro. We appreciate you.
We're doing this together.
Yes, and we're going to Abuja together.
Yeah, with spirit, soul, and body.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So we're having another track from the campaign jingle.
Okay.
So let's roll it up.
So do you have
Confirm Presido. Yeah.
That's what it is.
No time again, yo. Everybody there with you. Take it back. You need to change some settings.
Everybody now. Sing it out. Please come to the back of the car. Amen. Oh yeah now. Oh yeah now. Back of the couch.
Take it back, take it back, say Baba. Say Baba. Take it back, take it back, say Baba. Say Baba. Take it back, take it back, say Baba. Say Baba. Be blessed. It's a new beginning, expecting nothing less. The people that sing this is not the number one. So many people is just as we just singing this song, make me just sing along. And I think we can go. Go bring your BBC come here. Show whatever president you, that is the cocoa. We not do no, we no be she cocoa. We never make noise, man. I call him on baby. Feel bad, sure. Someone for the people, sure. Sure, for the president, sure. Follow the leader, sure. Follow the two background, sure.
Take it up now.
Say Baba. Say Baba. Take it back, take it back. Say Baba. Take it back, take it back. Say Baba. Oh, say Baba. Take it back, take it back. Say Baba. Say Baba. Modeji. This one don't be chop and go. Atide, ashebere. Say Baba, not in we want for the show for the Monday. Sure, feel banga, sure. Someone for the people, sure.
Steven Orimolo donated $50. He said, "We are breaking every fallow ground in Nigerian politics. We support you here in the UK. Take it back quickly." Our friend Omotaya Zobotiano Akinde Zobo. Yes, doing what we know how to do, supporting the revolution. Sowore is the future, Sowore is the answer. Freedom cometh by struggle. Freedom come. This is Omoro Apolaji donated $50. Jobo donated $75. Thank you guys for doing so much for us in this campaign. We want to make some announcement that just came from a Zenith Bank account. Oluso Gamatu Eniola donated 2,000 naira. That's the only thing we have. Let's quickly go and check our WhatsApp messages if we have this. Said somebody just says they're talking about the photos. The 17 bags of completed ballot papers intercepted in Kano.
17.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Already completed.
Yes.
APC, right?
Yeah, sure.
And APC, they do all this kind of fraud now. This is what PDP used to do. But there's no difference between APC and
I was
PDP.
in the printing press this a couple of days ago, and I met a member of APC there, and he said, "Oh, tell your candidate not to disturb himself. The election figure, right? That is, we have the figure already. That there's no vote anywhere. Don't just waste your time."
They'll be shocked. Please, I need the contact for Ogun State AAC representative. This is urgent. Can we respond to this person as soon as we're done, please? Say, good evening, President. My husband went to Nigeria to join your campaign team and cast his vote for you, but he became poorly due to unknowing. Somebody came to Nigeria and fell sick because they drank contaminated bottled water. Oh no, I'm so sorry about that. Please reach out to him. Okay, let's call this number. So sorry, Mr. Oyabayo, to hear that. I have been a victim of bad food and bad water so as well.
Help is on the way.
Help is on the way, yes. But Mr. Sam Oyabayo, we're wishing you well. Get well soon so that you can cast your vote.
Sure.
I'm super proud of you, sir. Convictions make us come alive again. We had lost hope. Thank you for being unafraid. Oh, that's deep. Thank you so much. We shall win this war together. It says, all right, we're live again. Sorry for the interruption. And so now we started all over again from 1. What did we reach before it failed?
3.6K.
All right, so people are. Anyways, we're supposed to end at 11:02 anyway, but I think you guys still have more music to play.
Yeah, just a few more tracks.
Okay, so we play. I will leave you guys to handle that.
And by the way, Rugged Man just endorsed.
Rugged Man just endorsed us. Rugged Man.
AC! Take it back! Action. It's not too late.
It's not too late
Yes.
for you guys who are celebrities. This is a historical moment. Even you, Davido, it's not too late.
It's not
for
too
you.
late. Yeah.
You can still come and
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Atikuluta, who you are supporting because he's a friend of your family, is now going to guarantee even your music in the future.
That's right.
I'm serious.
Sorry, before you go, Mr.
Yeah.
President, what do you have for entertainment industry?
Did I not just read to you that somebody said you should not be asking questions anymore? Yes. So please, I will say that the entertainment industry grows on its own, but of course it needs incentive, it needs support. Yeah, when I'm president, instead of giving all the waivers to Dangote, a lot will go to entertainers so that they can import whatever they need. Give them grants, loans, give them support, give them the visibility they need. You know, I will be the #1 share leader of entertainers in Nigeria.
Wow.
You know, and I've said also, there's something that kills creativity in Nigeria. That's the NBC, Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation.
Yeah.
I will put them to rest. You know, I have seen people who work at NBC. They are not creative people, and people who are not creative cannot regulate creativity. That's the truth. I will put an end to this idea of trying to decide what people let people listen to what they want to listen to and decide what they want to listen to. It's as simple as that. Because at any rate, if you don't hear it on TV, you hear it on Facebook or YouTube anyways. you know, is part of the analog mentality that is still prevalent in Nigeria. So you'll be all right on that, and you'll be in charge of the Aso Rock Club anyway.
Aso Rock Entertainment Center.
I'm not denying it. There will be Friday nights will be serious. Yeah.
Oh, seriously. Cool.
Yeah, Friday nights will, you know, yeah. Trust me, it's not going to be a dull moment.
Ọmọ tó bá ṣiṣẹ́, ó yẹ kó lásìkò ìgbádùn, èyí tí ó fi jayé.
Coca-Cola, come on, all right, guys.
Okay. Before you leave, this is the last time you campaign to Nigerians before the elections. So, what is your final word?
Oh man, my final word to Nigerians is that this is one great moment in the history of this country, and you've seen it happen. You've seen that we can go past religion, we can go past ethnicity, and we can actually embrace creativity, we can embrace knowledge, we can embrace intellect, we can embrace capacity. And this country has got young people who's got stamina as well, who have exposure, and it got young people who can speak truth to power and who can actually handle power in the interest of our own people. This is what we've done in the last 1 year. We've broken every and had the most ambitions, we've challenged principalities and gotten to
Naija for show for Naija.
So let's see if we can try this.
You know my what? No, go ahead, like that.
Make you wake up, the week they wait for transcendence, you don't the week they wait for trustworthy person. He's ready to bring back what we lost for years. He decided to make us mad again. Omoyele nìkan ló lè ṣe Omoyele nìkan ló lè ṣe Omoyele nìkan ló lè ṣe Omoyele nìkan ló lè ṣe. Promising to increase corporate salary to 50,000. Decentralized power, infrastructure, development. Say you know that. Don't create 5 million new jobs for Nigeria youth. Say you know that. Now good person, better person, we don't get it. We better. He's ready to bring back what we lost for years. He's ready to make us mad again. Omoyele nìkan ló lè ṣe Omoyele nìkan ló lè ṣe Omoyele nìkan ló lè ṣe Omoyele nìkan ló lè ṣe. Boko Haram o,
Action or going back. Congratulations to the incoming president. Come on. Everybody come to Canada. Congratulations to the incoming president. On Saturday, this is the logo. I want to make this. And at the end, everything goes about
let the good work begin.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Take it back. Action. Take it back. Mr. President.
Thank you. How many people eventually watch? 4,000.